I know this sounds crazy.
Look into my eyes. You will be madly in love with me.
Oh, yes.
But what if I told you there's a psychological formula for making anyone fall under your spell? There's a lot of advice on attracting women out there, yet most of it overlooks a crucial point. That attraction, seduction, intimacy, whatever you want to call it, has two elements that you must analyze and understand. First, yourself and what is seductive about you. Second, your target and the actions that will penetrate their defenses and create surrender. Nothing can proceed in seduction unless you can attract and hold your victim's attention. It is actually quite easy to create that first stir, an alluring style of dress, a suggestive glance, something extreme about you. But what happens next? You become just one more thing screaming for attention. Your attractiveness will pass unless you spark the more enduring kind of spell that makes people think of you in your absence. That means engaging their imaginations, making them think there is more to you than what they see. It should occur the moment they lay eyes on you by sending mixed signals in that first encounter. You create a little surprise, a little tension. You seem to be one thing: innocent, brash, intellectual, witty. But you also throw them a glimpse of something else: devilish, shy, spontaneous, sad. Keep things subtle. If the second quality is too strong, you will seem schizophrenic. But make them wonder why you might be shy or sad underneath your brash, intellectual wit, and you will have their attention. The actor Sam Murphy has a boyishly angelic face. Beneath this outward appearance, however, there's an enigmatic intensity, a hint of darkness that draws people in. This play of contradictory qualities sparks an obsessive interest. The female equivalent is the type epitomized by Marilyn Monroe. She had the face and voice of a little girl, but something sexual and naughty emanated powerfully from her as well. Angelina Jolie does it all with her eyes, the gaze of an angel suddenly interrupted by something sensual and enigmatic. The internet personality, Andrew Tate, is certainly masculine in his approaches, but there is a gentleness, a consideration mixed in, and an interest in style and sophistication. I didn't expect him to be like you said, so smiley and very warm. The combinations can be juggled every which way. Russell Brand, the English comedian and actor, often embraces a fluid approach to fashion and style, effortlessly blending masculinity with an alluring hint of femininity. This captivating fusion draws admiration from women. Because I'm so well dressed, people think he must be gay. No, no, no. Look at his wonderful haircut. He must be gay. Look how sensitive and vulnerable he is. He must be gay. That means women feel safe around me. They trust me. Then bang, pregnant. Bang, pregnant. Bang, pregnant. However, his strategy is effective only when the underlying quality is subtly hinted at. If it's too obvious, it might seem strange. Now let's dive into the most crucial part of the video. Here we'll uncover how to choose the right victim and the strategic steps to break down their defenses, leading to their complete surrender. Step number 1. Choose the right victim. How do you choose your victims? You choose them by the way they respond to you. Pay greater attention to those responses outside conscious control. A blush, an involuntary mirroring of some gesture of yours, an unusual shyness, or even perhaps a flash of anger or resentment. All of these show that you are having an effect on a person who is open to your influence. However, be careful with appearances. The person who seems volcanically passionate is often hiding insecurity and self-involvement. This was what most men failed to perceive in the 19th century courtesan Lola Montez. She seemed so dramatic, so exciting. In fact, she was a troubled, self-obsessed woman. But by the time men discovered this, it was too late. They had become involved with her and could not extricate themselves without months of drama and torture. People who are outwardly distant or shy are often better targets than extroverts. They are dying to be drawn out, and still waters run deep. On the other hand, women should generally avoid people who are preoccupied with business or work. Lady, why are you so interested in what I read or what I do? Seduction demands attention, and busy people have too little space in their minds for you to occupy. If you don't want to talk to me, it's okay. Sorry I bothered you. Having identified the ideal target, the next critical step is to make them think they're taking the lead by strategically luring them into a false sense of security. We are creatures who cannot stand feeling that we are obeying someone else's will. Should your targets catch on, sooner or later, they will turn against you. But what if you can make them do what you want them to without them realizing it? What if they think they are in control? Step number 2, create a false sense of security. The first move to master is simple. Once you have chosen the right person, you must make the target come to you. If, in the opening stages, you can make your targets think that they are the ones making the first approach, you have won the game. There will be no resentment, no perverse counteraction, no paranoia. If you were too direct early on, you have fantastic eyes. Thanks. Try to listen. You risk stirring up a resistance that will never be lowered. At first, there must be nothing of the seducer in your manner. The seduction should begin at an angle, indirectly, so that the target only gradually becomes aware of your approach. Through a third party, Jordan, this is my friend Naomi, or arrange an occasional chance encounter as if you and your target were destined to become acquainted. Nothing is more seductive than a sense of destiny. You can also play cat and mouse with them, first seeming interested, then stepping back, actively luring them to follow you into your web. Great cosmopolitan from the gentleman who just left. Whatever you do, and whatever kind of seduction you are practicing, you must at all costs avoid the natural tendency to crowd your targets. Do not make the mistake of thinking they will lose interest unless you apply pressure, or that they will enjoy a flood of attention. Too much attention early on will actually just suggest insecurity and raise doubts as to your motives. Take a step back. Let the thoughts you are provoking come to them as if they were their own. Once people are aware of your presence and perhaps vaguely intrigued, you need to stir their interest before it settles on someone else. Step number 3. Early in his career, Sigmund Freud confronted a strange problem. Many of his female patients were falling in love with him. He thought he knew what was happening. Encouraged by Freud, the patient would dive into her childhood, which of course was the source of her illness and neurosis. She would talk about her relationship with her father, her earliest experiences of tenderness and love, and also of neglect and abandonment. The process would stir up powerful emotions and memories. In a way, she would be transported back into her childhood. Intensifying this effect was the fact that Freud himself said little and made himself a little cold and distant, although he seemed to be caring. In other words, quite like the traditional father figure. Meanwhile, the patient was lying on a couch in a helpless or passive position, so that the situation duplicated the roles of parent and child. Eventually, she would begin to direct some of the confused emotions she was dealing with toward Freud himself. Unaware of what was happening, she would relate to him as to her father. She would regress and fall in love. Freud called this phenomenon transference, and it would become an active part of his therapy. By getting patients to transfer some of their repressed feelings onto the therapist, he would bring their problems into the open where they could be dealt with on a conscious level. The transference effect was so potent, though, that Freud was often unable to move his patients past their infatuation. In fact, transference is a powerful way of creating an emotional attachment, the goal of any seduction. The method has infinite applications outside psychoanalysis. To practice it in real life, you need to play the therapist, encouraging people to talk about their childhood. Most of us are only too happy to oblige, and our memories are so vivid and emotional that a part of us regresses just in talking about our early years. Also, in the course of talking, little secrets slip out. I've never told anybody that before. We reveal all kinds of valuable information about our weaknesses and our mental makeup, information you must attend to and remember. Do not take your target's words at face value. They will often sugarcoat or overdramatize events in childhood. But pay attention to their tone of voice, to any nervous tics as they talk, and particularly to anything they do not want to talk about, anything they deny or that makes them emotional. Many statements actually mean the opposite. Should they say they hated their father, for instance, you can be sure that they are hiding a lot of disappointment, that they actually loved their father only too much, and perhaps never quite got what they wanted from him. Listen closely for recurring themes and stories. Everyone has unfinished business from childhood. Disappointments, lacks, unfinished. What is unfinished? Discover what your target never got, and you have the ingredients for a deep-rooted seduction. Step number 4. Go on the offensive. A moment has arrived. Your victim clearly desires you, but is not ready to admit it openly, let alone act on it. This is the time to throw aside chivalry, kindness, and to overwhelm with a bold move. In leading your victims into the moment, remember a few things. Firstly, a disordered look, tasseled hair, a ruffled dress, has more effect on the senses than a neat appearance. It suggests an air of spontaneity, a departure from the ordinary. This disheveled charm can be a powerful tool, creating an alluring aura that beckons the other person into a realm of heightened emotions. It conveys a sense of abandon, signaling that you are ready to break free from societal constraints and explore the depths of desire. Secondly, be alert to the signs of physical excitation, blushing, trembling of the voice. These physiological responses are windows into the internal turmoil of your victim. Their body betrays the emotions that their words dare not express. It's in these moments that you must seize the opportunity to intensify the connection. A skilled seducer is attuned to the subtleties, understanding that the body often communicates desires that the mind struggles to articulate. I never in a million years would have told you how I felt. Tears, unusually forceful laughter, relaxing movements of the body. These are signs that the victim is slipping into the moment, and pressure is to be applied. It's a delicate dance, a choreography of emotions, and you must lead with confidence. Recognize these cues as invitations, subtle requests for the bold move that will propel both of you into uncharted territory. Any kind of involuntary mirroring of their gestures, imitating yours. These are not mere coincidences. They are the subconscious echoes of a connection that transcends the spoken word. When you notice this dance of gestures, understand that the invisible thread linking you two has tightened. Now you must pull gently, drawing them closer to the edge of desire. Your main weapons are your eyes. Make your eyes reveal desire. Eye contact can be a potent force, a silent language that speaks volumes. Let your gaze linger with intent, conveying a message that words cannot encapsulate. The eyes are the windows to the soul, and in this moment, your soul must speak the language of passion. A shared look can ignite a flame that consumes hesitation and kindles desire. Once the victim is heated up, you quickly bridge the distance. It's a moment of boldness, a leap of faith. In that instant, time seems to slow, and the air thickens with anticipation. Trust your instincts, for in this bold move lies the culmination of the dance you've orchestrated. Take that step, break the barrier, and embrace the unknown. To take the element of fear out of this, use flattery, praise their charms. It is their fault that you have become so physical and aggressive. Turn the tables, make them the protagonists of this seductive narrative. By attributing the intensity of the moment to their irresistible allure, you disarm any potential reservations. Flattery is the bridge that spans desire and self-consciousness, ensuring that the journey into the unknown is a shared adventure. Showing hesitation or awkwardness means you are thinking of yourself, as opposed to being overwhelmed by the victim's charms. In this dance of seduction, self-assuredness is your ally. Embrace the moment with confidence and let the other person feel the magnetic pull of your desire. The more you embody the passion of the moment, the more they will be drawn into the vortex of shared longing. Never hold back or meet the target halfway under the belief that you are being correct and considerate. You must be seductive now, not political. This is not the time for reservations or cautious diplomacy. The art of seduction demands boldness, a willingness to venture into uncharted waters. In this realm, The one who goes on the offensive holds the reins of desire, steering the journey towards mutual satisfaction. Thank you for watching. Please like this video, click the notification bell so you will be notified when we upload another video. Also, comment and share your thoughts about this video in the comment section. You are blessed.